Hi, and welcome to this tutorial. In the video you'll see me doing the planche both on the floor as well as using parallettes. You can learn it both ways, just remember that the floor version requires additional wrist strength because the hyperextended position of your hands causes increased pressure on your joints. Let's start with a closer look at biomechanics. The planche would be considered a third class lever, which is quite common in human movement on sports. This type of lever is the one which has the most mechanical disadvantage, because it requires a big amount of applied force to overcome even a small resistance. And this, in our case, is what makes the planche such a difficult move, because it puts our body in a great mechanical disadvantage against gravity. In addition to this, there is another big downside. The greater the distance of the load from the axis, the bigger is the effort required to overcome its resistance. This is why doing a tuck planche is easier than doing a full planche. Now, let's talk about technique more specifically. The first and most important point is that in order to achieve balance, the shoulders must be as far away as possible from the support point. The hands must be at least directly below the navel or lower, otherwise it would be impossible to hold the position. This means you have to work on your strength in your wrist extensors and anterior deltoids. Another important point is being able to stabilize the trunk. This is achieved by squeezing your chest as hard as you can and by tightening both abs and lower back. Failure to do so would result in your hips dropping and your arms bending. To achieve proper form, you must be able to keep your arms as straight as possible. To do so, you must press hard with your elbows as if you wanted to bring your arms together. The progression to the full planche starts with the planche lean. Face down with your arms completely straight and your shoulders directly on top of your wrists. Slowly begin leaning forward by pushing with the ball of your feet. Get as far forward as you possibly can while keeping your arms completely straight. You should reach a point where your hips are on top of your hands. This exercise is a key element in your progression as it will build the foundation to a correct execution of the full planche. The planche lean is basically a planche with your feet on the floor instead of in the air. The arms and trunk position are the same, which means you are strengthening the same muscles. I suggest you also do the floor version of this exercise, as it is a great way to get your wrists used to the increased pressure. Note that the angle at your wrists should be less than 90 degrees. Make sure you use proper form throughout the whole movement, as this will help you avoid bad habits later on, such as letting your hips drop by not activating your core or bending your arms. In the second step, we'll start getting our feet off the floor, although with the assistance of a suspension trainer, but we'll reduce the lever by tucking the knees under. For this exercise, you'll need something to get your feet elevated. The best tool for this purpose will be a suspension trainer, and if you have it, I suggest you use it as this will give you more freedom of movement. If you don't have it, any elevated surface to lean on such as a bench or a step will do. Here, as in the previous exercise, you must get as far forward as you can while keeping your arms straight. Once you're able to hold the tuck position for at least 10 seconds, you can start extending your legs and do the full planche with the assistance of a suspension trainer or a bench. As usual, you should focus on good form, leaning as far forward as you can while keeping your body and your arms straight. This is another crucial step in the progression. Now is the best time to correct mistakes or any bad habits you may have. Make sure you can execute this exercise in perfect form and be able to hold it for at least 10 seconds. fourth step will begin to partially remove assistance by placing only one foot on the support. Here it is important that you focus on tightening your core, as you could easily lose correct form as one of your leg would be unsupported. Once you can hold a position for more than 10 seconds, you'll be ready to completely remove assistance and move on to the next step. It is now time to get our feet off the ground without any support. To make it manageable, we'll once again reduce the lever by tucking the knees under. To be able to perform this move, you must create two apparently opposing forces within your body. One is pushing down as you press hard with your shoulders, causing the scapula to protract and creating a hollow in your trunk. And the other is pulling up as you lift your hips to get your lower body off the ground. The next move is simply a progression to the tuck pose, where you're trying to gradually extend the position by moving your knees away from your elbows. You should be able to remain in the advanced tuck planche position for at least 10 seconds before you move on to the final step. This is the final step before you try to attempt the full planche. From the tuck planche position, extend one leg out while the other remains bent. Count to 5, then swap legs while trying to keep your arms straight at all times, and count to 5 again. This exercise will assist you in the specific movement of elevating your hips during the planche. For this, you will use a suspension trainer to get your feet up. You can also do it with your feet on the floor, although this will allow a shorter range of motion. This exercise is intended to strengthen the anterior deltoids while activating the serratus and pectoralis minor. These muscles are directly involved in stabilizing the trunk during the planche. Get an elastic band of heavy resistance fixed behind you at feet level. From a standing position, grab each end of the elastic band with the hands at a distance wider than shoulders and move the arms up and forward, while keeping the arms straight and the palms facing down. Hold for 5 to 10 seconds, paying attention to the parts of your body that receive most tension. These same muscles are the ones that you must tense in order to keep your trunk stable and your arms straight during the planche. The last one is intended to strengthen your triceps and wrist extensors, giving more stability to your arms and wrist strength. Start in an elbow plank position and do a push-up, pressing your palms down. On the top of the movement, your arms should be completely straight, then slowly come down to the initial position.
Thanks for watching the video. If you find it useful, please like it, share it, write a comment, and don't forget to subscribe.